Okay, take two. Welcome to day one of our Google Apps class. This week we're doing docs. And we're going to start the way we usually start with all of the apps. So who does not have, I think Rashawn, anyone else not have the asterisk in their book? Everyone does? Okay, so let's go to that page in your book. But first I'm going to invite our friends. And camera 3. Okay, good. Okay, so if you don't have it, go to a blank page in your book. If you do, go to the page that has the big X on it. So for you, Rashawn, you'd start with a new page, and you would entitle it Google Docs. And as a starting, not Google Docs, I'm sorry, Google Apps. So on your table of contents, there should be a page, an entry called Google Apps. And it should refer to this page you just have right now. It's very important to keep your composition book up to date and accurate. So the big thing in this school that tilts the playing field in our favor is Google Apps. It's the use of the cloud. Because today it's not uncommon when you're applying for a job that there's 400 people applying for the job, if it's a good job, not bad jobs. But if it's a good job, if it's something that you'd want to have as a career, there could be 400 people applying. And so here, what we try to get people to do is to find a job, not a job, to have a career position, and we call it a calling or destiny. So who remembers what a calling is on our definition? Anybody? If not, you should write it down. So here, because it'll probably be on the test. So a calling position is something that you like doing so much, you'd do it for free if you could. So typically you have mothers volunteer at elementary schools and schools for their kid, be room moms and things like that, because it's important and they want to do it. They don't do it for the money. That's what we call a calling. A destiny is one notch above that. That's where you like doing it so much you pay to do it. So then an example of that would be Mother Teresa. Ah, there's John. Hello, John.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, good. So John has joined us. So this is the start of the new historic thing. And but
we're making history.
We are making history. So calling or destiny. Now I saw something, a billboard in California that was, if you find something you love to do, you never have to work a day in your life. Right? Yep. So that's the other way to think of it. So that's the kind of positions we want people to get. The other thing, a job is perfectly okay as long as it is part of a bigger plan. So for example, people that want to get in the movie business, right? What do before they get their break? They wait tables. They wait tables, they do stuff like that, bartender, whatever. And when you ask them at a cocktail party, what do you do? What do they say? I'm an actor. They say, I'm an actor. Okay, well, but I saw you working over at Joe's Crab Shack. That's just to pay the bills. That's just to pay the bills, okay? So a job is okay if it's part of a plan. A job gets to be bad when that's what people end up doing, where they don't have a plan, and that's where they end up doing. Working in telemarketing is not bad if it's part of a plan. And it's a good plan because to go get a job in a place, if you can say, I have done telemarketing, 0.0% of those places are going to say, I'm taking off points for that. They're all going to give you points for that because they know that we're always selling. We're always selling ourselves. we're selling our business, we're selling our beliefs, we're selling something. And if you have telephone skills, that means to an employer, you've overcome this, I'm afraid to do it, I don't like to do it, it's embarrassing, it's hard, it's whatever. So, but if you know you only have to do it for a short period of time, it's bearable. So a job is okay as long as it's part of a bigger plan. And our goal is to help our graduates, our students, get stable and meaningful employment in positions where they say, I love going to work. Or on Monday morning when your boss says, hey, how was your weekend? What is the correct answer?
Glad it's over so I get back to work.
Okay, close. That's a good one. Marty?
Can you go by fast enough?
Sort of. So the best answer to say when your boss says, hey, how was your weekend?
Great, how was yours?
No, the best weekend was too long. Really short, quick. It's going to throw them off guard. Everyone else is going to say, great, how was yours? Doesn't really mean anything. But when you say too long, that's a what, huh? That's going to stick. And then they're going to remember you. Too long. Huh? What? I'm glad to be back at work. Okay, and that's sort of how you should feel.
Glad it's over.
Glad the weekend's over. Well, that kind of leads to other questions.
Yeah.
What were you doing? Yeah, what were you doing? So here, to get those type of positions with our student population, we have to have skills that other people don't have. You have to know how to type, but today everybody knows how to type. You have to know Office, but today everybody knows Office. So you need to know something that's important to the employer that other people don't know, and that is the cloud. Because all businesses are moving to the cloud whether they like it or not. You know, 100 years ago, there might have been some beer distributors that had horse and wagons, and they might have been very resistant to change. But are there any today? No, there are none today. And not even the Budweiser Clydesdales. They don't deliver beer. They go in parades. They go on commercials. They don't deliver beer. But that's how it used to be. And that's what's going to happen with the cloud. Why? Jesus, why is the cloud going to be something that all businesses have to do?
That's the future.
Correct, good answer. But why is it the future?
Go make a money.
More customers, more profit. Easier to do business. And usually the profile of customers is, for businesses, we want people to come back, stay longer, come back more often, and tell their friends. If you have a business where people come back more often, stay longer, and tell their friends, you have a successful business unless you do something to screw it up. But that's the kind of thing that you want as an employer, right? If you have a restaurant, you want people to come back more often, stay longer, and tell their friends. What if you have a carpet cleaning business? You want people to call you more often, have you do more work while you're there, tell their friends? Absolutely. That's the simple basic thing. And the cloud enables us to do that very easily. We focus on the Google cloud. Everybody has their own cloud. So the cloud, what is the cloud? What would you say, Rashawn?
There's no answer for that. Nobody knows what the cloud is.
Well, nobody knows where it is.
This unlimited space, and I mean, like, this can be anything, even everything.
Okay, so it's part of that. Part of it is all of your files can be stored somewhere else, as opposed to where were they originally stored?
On your desktop.
On your computer, right? Then they got on to a thumb drive and floppy drives and things like that. And now they're just stored out there somewhere. And when you have your Google account, your stuff is not stored on one server. It's not on one hard drive. Parts of it are on a lot of different hard drives because they can find it because they have what? What's the unique thing?
They have an algorithm.
Okay, they have a unique thing, which is your email address. So bits and pieces of things can be anywhere in the world. They don't all have to be on one hard drive. and they have redundancy. They have backup. So it's not just one. So part of the problem with the cloud is once something's on the cloud, it's never going to come off. You're not going to get all copies. Because if I send a document to Matt as an attachment, where does it go now? Let's say I send a picture.
Well, it's going to go to me, but it's also going to go to these servers wherever they are.
Well, it'll be on those servers, but it'll be on you. If I delete it off of
I still have it.
if I delete it off my drive, he has a copy. And everybody he sends it to. So it's almost impossible to get things off the cloud once they're there. But that's what makes the cloud so powerful. How you can get more customers, keep them, be more efficient with your customers, know more about your customers. So the idea is if you want your customers to come back more often, would it be a good idea to know more about your customers? It would. The more you know about them, the more you should know what they like and what they don't like. And if you take away the things they don't like and give them more of the things they do like, what are they going to do? Come back more often. Yeah, tell their friends. You can't do that in the old world where there were these things that were files, right? A paper file. Because what would you have to do? Create the file, read the file, and if you have more than one place, how do they get the file? Call you on the phone and you read it? Okay. I mean, you can't do it. But with the cloud, once you have a customer, you build their profile and you can meet their needs. And that's what, when you go to the grocery store and they ask you, what is, put in your number and we'll give you discounts. What are they building?
A database of your preferences.
Yeah, of everything that you like. So that one day, what can happen?
They can sell it to somebody if they want, or they can market directly to you if they want.
Yeah, one day they'll be able to say, we know that you like to go shopping on Saturdays between 3 and 4. And here's what you probably need based upon, for the last 2 years, everything that you bought every week. Just check off the things you don't want. And what happens when they say check off the things you don't want?
Well, your database is pretty. Well, you're being.
What did we learn?
Decision that you don't want to make.
Okay, so what did we learn? What?
You're more likely than not.
Yeah, people don't check the box. So you end up spending more money than you normally would have because it's too hard to think of, am I going to run out of toothpaste this week or next week? Should I order it now or not now? It's only $2.94 for toothpaste. I'll buy it this week. So they're going to end up selling a lot more stuff. And when they say it's going to be boxed up or it's not going to be boxed up unless you check the box,
Well, it's not going to get boxed up.
it's not going to get boxed up. So what are you going to do?
You're going to buy boxes.
You're going to go in the store and you're going to go aisle by aisle and you'll probably buy even more stuff. So that's the opportunities that the cloud offers. Same thing with medical. When you buy these little bracelets, has anybody seen those bracelets that keep track of your blood pressure and how far you've walked? Okay. What are those doing? Same thing. They're creating record database of your patterns and your habits. So they can then tell you, hey, you need to do this, stop doing that, and make your life easier. That is the direction that it's going. Everybody's heard of Uber, right? Okay, so what's the idea behind Uber?
Transportation and energy.
Easier than a cab, right? Now when you want to go out to dinner on Friday nights with friends, you don't have to worry about getting pulled over for DUI, right? Okay. So what are they able to start doing? Creating a record of your behavior, your patterns, so they can come back later and say, hey, are you going to need a car this weekend? Usual thing. How about this new one called, I think it's called Purple. Anybody hear of that? Okay, Purple. Purple is a service that will deliver gasoline to your car.
Wow.
You don't have to go to a gas station.
Okay.
Now pretend you're a surgeon. Do you want to go to the gas station? And it only costs like 60 cents more per gallon.
Okay, I got it this one.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning, Ed.
Hi, Rose. We were talking about you this morning, how good you are with your people.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Okay. So if you're a surgeon, do you want to waste 10 minutes going to the gas station, pumping your own gas to save 20 you need to save $12. Yeah. Okay. How about an attorney?
No, the money, they could spend the extra money and not have to have the hassle.
Right. So, and it might even be less than 60 cents more per gallon. They will deliver gas to where you are. Sounds like you have 2 microphones on there, Rose.
Got a mic on there? I have this one.
Down. Let me turn it on. It's my camera.
Oh, they muted it. Yeah. Oops, sorry. You have to unmute one of them. There you go. Morning, Dennis.
Good morning, Ed.
So we're doing our introduction to Google Cloud, and we're about ready to get started in Docs. So this is the future. And whoever knows this is going to have an advantage. So the example I like giving is the beer delivery company that used horses and wagons. And if you just graduated from mechanic school and they're using horses and wagons, how's your job opportunity there?
Well, you're not going to need it.
Right. They don't need you. Now let's say you just graduated from horse grooming school. Okay, but what is the problem?
They're going to go to mechanized vehicles.
No, what's the problem? You just got out of horse training, horse.
Well, they have people who've been doing it 20 years.
Right. So now you're competing with people who have been doing horses for a long time. So you're at a disadvantage. So just knowing, learning things that other people have experience doing isn't enough. But let's say that company just bought or was thinking about buying trucks, and you just graduated from mechanic school, engine mechanic school. You're ready to roll, okay? Now you have an advantage over, what about the guy who took care of the horses, but he doesn't know anything about engines? He's screwed, right? To put it polite. It's a lot worse than that. Okay, so this is a point in time with the cloud that if you know the cloud, you have an advantage over everyone else. It's like the guy who just graduated from auto mechanic school, engine repair, when everybody's starting to buy trucks. That's the guy who has the advantage. That's what's happening with the cloud right now. And we learned that. Who was the person who pointed it out to us, Phyllis? That came to the class, he didn't use engine and horses. Nolan Bushnell. Nolan Bushnell, when he came and talked to the school, said, look, guys, we're at this point in time that your past does not matter. It's what you know, because this is where the future is going. You're going to have a big advantage. Now, let's just continue this little mental exercise of you're the guy who's the head horse guy at the company. You are in your 50s. You've been doing this for 30 years. And now all of a sudden you see your job is going to be obsolete. How do you feel about going to engine repair?
You're going to have to go back to school one way or another. I mean, what's really
Most of the guys are going to say, I can't do it, right? I can't learn this stuff now. It's too hard. I can't learn it. And that's the number one obstacle we have people here, or people who leave here, is saying it's too hard, it's not worth the effort to try to learn this new thing. People who drop out here, not because they have to. A lot of people drop out because it's just too hard. You know, walking here in the rain. Or, you know, if it was Terry, not only does he have to walk in the rain, he has to bring his whole house with him every day. And when it's really cold, it's hard. And when it's really hot during the summer, at 3:30 in the afternoon, it's 112 degrees outside. And you haven't really had food, right? Because they don't give you food there at Catholic Industries. I always have to do a little shout out negative. It's hard. So people leave because they can't do that, but other people leave because it isn't worth it to them to have to learn this new technology. And last week when we were doing our TED Talks, what everybody should have come away with is the future, the next 20 years are going to be way different than the last 20 years. As many changes we saw in the last 20 years, what's happening in the next 20 years is going to be way beyond that. Okay, way beyond that. So we need to be prepared for that. Okay, and so Google Apps is the thing that tilts the playing field in our favor. Now, we have to do two things. We as students have to do two things. A, we have to know these Google Apps. And B, we have to be able to communicate in a persuasive way to the interviewer that it's of value. Don't take for granted that every job interviewer thinks that Google Apps is important. Don't think that, because a lot of them don't. People, you're going to find the more you learn about Google Apps, the more you're going to find that nobody out there really knows how to do any of this stuff. Or it's on a very superficial, amateur level, even Gmail. And when we do Gmail, everybody's going to find, have we done Gmail since you've been here? Okay. So when we get to doing Gmail in a professional way and you find out all of the stuff that Gmail has built in for professional use, it's going to be, wow, I didn't know you could do all this stuff in Gmail. So even the things that people think they know how to do on the cloud, they only know how to do them on a very superficial level. So we have to know the stuff and we have to be able to articulate it and communicate it persuasively. So here, in the 4 hours that we have for each Google app, we go through 8 of them 2 times. And you're going to go through them 1 time, but you're going to be coming back 1 day a week for 8 weeks. So you're not going to forget them. But what you have to do is incorporate them into your daily routine. And so, you know, what you will see, Sean, on Friday when we're taking our tests, you're going to have to do things like use your drive to paste in a file name, right? Well, you're going to know that this week how to do it, maybe. But that's a thing you have to do. So the thing is to incorporate these things every day. Everybody should be using their calendar. Now you got to figure out a way to use your maps every day, because if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. Okay, so let's move on now to what are the 8 Google apps. So everybody should have a page that has a big X in it. And only write on the right side of your composition book. Don't use the left side. The left side is for when you go back and review and you take notes. Okay, so let's start with Marty. What is a Google app? Which one of them? Calendar. So on your big X, mark what I'm doing. Okay, Deanna. Drive. Okay, Jesus.
No.
Serial. Chrome. Okay, good. Leo. Maps. Good. It should be really fast because everybody, and then you put another X down the middle so you have an asterisk. Okay. Matt. Gmail. Gmail. Okay. Mark. YouTube. YouTube. And, okay, Matt. Google Plus. Google Plus. A very underrated app. Marty? Voice. Okay? So these are the 8 Google apps we do. Now, one of them, you should put a box around. Which one is that? Chrome. Chrome, right. Why? Why, Matt?
Well, because Chrome is the browser that links you all.
Yeah, Chrome is not really an app. It's a program. So for purposes here and in your future the way to distinguish other people, the difference between an app and a program is a program is stored on your computer, an app is stored in the cloud. Chrome has to have parts of it on your computer. So we put a box around that so that somebody who thinks they're smart doesn't say Chrome isn't an app, it's a program. Okay, but we include it as one of the 8 Google apps we know, and it's technically a program, not an app. Okay, now some apps have sub-apps. Okay, so who's got a sub-app?
Well, there's documents in Drive.
Okay, so in Drive, there are sub-apps. We call them a sub-app because you can only get them through the app. Okay, so Docs, Forms. Forms is so important that we spend time on that. Sheets. So these here in Drive, those sub-apps are like what programs? Mainstream program that everybody learns.
Oh, Word,
Office, Microsoft Office. So these are like Office, except, or not except, but Forms is way better than Access. These other ones, Docs, spreadsheets, presentations, PowerPoint. The Google version enables you to do 80 or 90% of what you need to do 80 or 90% of the time. It's free. It's free. It's not as good as Microsoft Office, but you can't really do full-blown Microsoft Office as a cloud app. It's too content-rich. It's too much stuff. And most people don't need to know that anyway. Okay? So, but Google Forms is a database app, and it's way better than Microsoft, what? What's their database? Access. It's way better. Forms is way better than Access. Yeah, there's no comparison. Okay, so what's another sub-app?
Well, Hangouts.
Okay, where is that found?
Google Plus.
Google Plus. So in Google Plus, you have Hangouts. What else? Communities. And what? Circles. Okay. So a Hangout, what would be a competitor to Hangouts? What's the most popular? Skype, exactly. Skype is like Hangouts, but it's a standalone app. It's not integrated into all of these, like Hangouts is integrated into the other apps. It's not a standalone app, and it's not hooked up to YouTube. So you can have a video call with somebody, but what happens when that call's over? It's gone. Right? Communities is like what? What's a community like? Not a competitive product, but what's it like? Huh? No. Good guess. Thank you for playing. It's like a website. It's a simple website. And there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. So if you go later today onto Google Plus, you go into communities and you just check out other people's communities, you'll see there's some very sophisticated communities that look like websites, but what do you not need?
Domain.
Well, you don't need to do that, but what you don't need is a webmaster. You don't need to know WordPress. You don't need to know anything. It's just dropping stuff in there. Okay, and what are circles like?
Right.
Huh? Well, it could be. That's a good thing to do. So circles and Google Plus is sort of like Facebook. Okay. It does a lot more than Facebook, but Facebook is the dominant player. It's not going to overtake Facebook. But you know what you can do in circles is you create groups. A circle is a group. So you can have how many circles? Yeah, you can have an infinite number of circles in Facebook. I mean, in Google Plus. So if I go here to people, and I go to my circles, each one of these down here is a circle. Okay, color-coded by, that's that. So now I added a new circle today called LTC VA program. I'm going to move that up. Now, what's so good about a circle?
It's, organized.
Helps you organize so you can communicate only with specific people in a specific way. So are there things that I would want to communicate with you guys that other people don't need to know? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And so we have here LTC students, that's California. Here are students, staff, Chow Chu staff, this group, Chow Chu magazine, the youth over at the other place, the Veritas, LTC, LP graduates, you know, all these circles that I can create a message that just goes to them. So that is a great, powerful tool. And then I can delete circles, like that one called text. So it's very easy to do. Yeah, okay. Now that point, so rolling away points out an important feature or important thing to know about Google Apps is Google has people that this is their only job. And they might have thousands of people working on Google+, and they might have a couple dozen people just working on the graphics of Google+ and doing stuff like that. So they have a lot of resources, a lot of people that can do a lot of things, and that should give us all comfort believing this is going to be around for a long time. They're not going to go anywhere. They're just going to keep improving every day. Because if you're a graphics guy on Google+, are you going to try to do it better? Yeah. First of all, you wouldn't be at Google unless that was your disposition. And then secondly, they encourage people to do it better. Okay, now what other sub-apps are there? So there's one in Gmail called Contacts. Okay, we don't really spend a lot of time on.
What about the views and maps?
The different views, so you mean like Street View and things like that? Okay, those could be sub-apps. So you have satellite, right? And you have street. What else? Timeline, yeah. And what else? Insight.
Has that started?
Yeah. It's a little bit cumbersome right now, but those are the apps, the sub-apps of Maps, in addition to the regular one. Okay, so these are the 8 Google apps that we studied. Now, best practices, thinking of your interview, making this practical, is you should really, really know one app inside and out, very fully. So when you get in your interview and you say, when they say, well, why, something like, why should we hire you? What do you say, Jesus? What's your first answer? No, that's not your first answer.
Money and saving money.
Sort of. You're on the target.
I can make you more money than you make.
Yeah, I will make you more money than anyone else. Or if you're in a position of saving money, like an accounting position, I can save you more money than anyone else. And you have to say it with confidence, not have it go up at the end like it's used to where it's a question, right? Now, what's the second thing that you have to be prepared to say? Because they're going to probably say something like, you wanted to say something like, well, how? Or why?
You know, bring up the cloud.
You bring up the cloud, and then you bring up your strongest one. And what you should have done is research of the company. So if you're going to talk about maps, you should have a map prepared for them that is of value to them, or a form that's already prepared that's of value to them. An example of that is Emily Salisbury gave us like a 12-page questionnaire that they want. It's an assessment for people in jail.
That's a form of it.
So Phyllis created a form. So I want to show it to her tomorrow. And if the form is right, which it will be, she's going to look at it and say, wow, this blows away what we did, because our 12-page form, somebody has to take that 12-page form and do what?
Well, they're gonna have
Their paper form.
they're gonna have to take it there, get it, sign it, take it back, put it all together, add the answers together.
Yeah, they're going to have to create a database. Where with our thing, as soon as you hit submit, boom, it's on the database. People can start manipulating data. They can start doing stuff. So best practices need to know one of these solid, and then you need to know another one, because they might say, well, what else? Yeah, you have to have a backup. No plan survives contact routine. So you have to have plan B.
Generally, which would you say for restaurants would be the best one?
Well, I think for restaurants, I think the Hangouts on Air, very important for training purposes, turning waiters, i.e. order takers, into salespeople, teaching them about the products. I think that's very good. Training videos, sales videos, marketing videos, promotional stuff. The maps is very important. If you do inside view, talk to people about inside view and say, imagine having a video, somebody going to the map and they can come inside and see the restaurant, you know, right into the kitchen, with the chef saying, you know, here's what we believe in.
Is there a problem with ownership if you want to share something on Google Plus and share it with Facebook? Are they compatible? Can you share one with the other?
Mm-hmm. You can post it on Facebook. So,
The other one, maybe circle, you could have.
so circles would be very important for a restaurant. If they have, so what kind of circles might you have for
You
restaurants?
could have clients for advertisements. You could have orders as far as
Okay, your vendors,
vendors.
right? Okay, so you have a circle for vendors.
But you might have a form for that first, so you can have everything already described.
Yeah, so forms for restaurants, I think Hangouts, which is a connection to YouTube. Forms is very good. Also, if you have a training video, have a question, a form that goes along with it. And you can embed the video, your YouTube video, into the form.
Based on the answer.
Or watch this, now answer these questions. Here's the video, answer the questions. So, so Hangouts is good, Maps is good. Voice, combined with Google Circles, is very good because you will leave different voicemail greetings for your different circles. So, for example, you have a circle for vendors. So you could have a circle for vendors or a voice greeting for vendors that says, hi, you know, this is the vendor line. We know you're one of our vendors. Sorry, we can't take the call. We'll be available this time. I'm going to fax you the order. I'm going to do something else. Or you could have a circle that is one vendor in it. Say Southern Wine and Spirits. You put them in a circle. They're the only one in the circle. Maybe it's your sales guy and all of the other people at Southern Wine and Spirits, 4 or 5 people. And you leave a message that says, I can't take your call, but here's the order. Here's what we need this week. I need it on Tuesday, and deliver it between these hours and those hours. Boom, done, hot potato, passed on. You don't have to be waiting for them to call. You don't have to wonder. So you could have circles for vendors. You could have circles for customers. You could have circles for your best customers. Hello, thank you for calling. Look, you're one of our best customers, so we created this line especially for you. Leave your instructions of what you want. We'll have it taken care of. Tell us where you want to sit. If you want to have a bottle of wine sitting at the table already chilled for you. If you want to have a special or anything special made in the kitchen, just tell us what you want. Tell us what time you'll be there, and we'll take care of it. How do you feel as the best customer if you got that message? You feel good, right? And who else isn't doing that? Every other restaurant is not doing that. Why? Because they don't know the cloud. That's why they don't do it. They don't know it's this big mystery. And a lot of guys say, you know, I just don't think I need to learn this stuff. And I bet there was some beer delivery guys that said, you know what, trucks are unreliable. We're going to keep horses, we don't need trucks. And they ended up being wrong. Anybody who thinks the cloud is not important is ended up being wrong too. Okay, so Google Docs. Google Docs competes with what?
Word, Microsoft Word.
Microsoft Word, right? So the important thing to write is it does 80% of what you need. You need 80% of the company. But it's, you know, at least 100% easier to use, and it's fully collaborative. Okay, so what does that mean, collaborative?
It means you can work together in real time.
Yeah, you can work together in real time from different locations. So if you're in the restaurant business, who might you want to collaborate with on a Google Doc?
Maybe you have a banquet and you're trying to collaborate with the caterer.
Okay, good idea. So you are the restaurant, and you do your own banquets, like the Italian American Club. They have a banquet room. It's a big part of their business. And people call them because they want to rent the banquet room. So what would the document be for this, for that you'd be collaborating on for the banquet?
Would probably be, well, I think it would be a form.
Okay, well, so if it was a form, you're not going to do it in docs. Okay.
Right, so
But what would the document be?
that would be a list. A client list. How much of this?
Okay, but what is that document called in legal terms? Hint, hint. A contract.
Oh, an actual contract.
Yeah. And you have blanks in there, like on a regular contract form, right?
Okay. And electronic signature is only enforceable.
Well, yeah. You don't even need an electronic signature. You can have an email. A guy sends you an email that says in it, this is
credit card number, most importantly.
yeah, okay. So a collaborative doc for a restaurant that's involved in banquets and catering or just large parties would be our contract. Let's go through the contract. I'm going to send you an email. So we're using a different Google app right now. We're starting with an email. There's going to be an attachment in there, right, which is a link to what? To the document. The guy clicks on it, opens his email, clicks on the link, like we do every Friday when we're doing our tests, our quizzes. He clicks on the link, and it does what? It opens the document. And the document has the places in it that need to be filled out. And we're talking on the phone. And, you know, it's pretty apparent. I'm in the restaurant, you're the customer. And it's pretty apparent to you because it looks like a contract. So you're going to see it. Oh, okay, yeah, here's the contract. It says reservation contract or banquets or something like that, order form. And you start filling in your information, we're talking, and it's okay, how many people, you know, that's all the easy stuff. Then we get down to what? The menu, right? Yeah, well, what is it that you want? Now, that document could either have check boxes, it could have all the chicken, fish, steak, check the box, or what else could it have? Fill in the blank, okay? Or it could have a link in there to what?
Your menu. Or, yeah, or to the actual items.
To the form, to a form. Okay, and that form, in legalese, that form becomes what to the contract? An addendum, okay, or an attachment to the contract. So we have this contract. We have this contract for a large party or banquet. We're collaborating on it. I'm going it through with you. Any feelings you have of it being one-sided go away because now you're just immersed into, wow, this is really cool. And so you fill out your part. We get to the menu part. It says menu, click. You click there and it takes you to a form. And now it has the different menu items, which could have pictures of what they look like.
Question, contract and email. What prevents them from going back and changing the contract after the details?
Well, so I have a contract with you, and so here's the process. So we're working on this document, right? We're done. Okay, what do you need to do with the document?
You need to shut it down.
You just need to close the tab,
Right? They
right?
have the link so they can always.
Okay, so you just close the tab.
Yeah.
Well, you're the customer. I say just close the tab, Matt. Okay, the document is now stored. So I can do a lot of things. One of the things I say is I'm going to email you a copy of this. In Docs, I can save the doc as what? Okay, so I'm going to go to Docs. I'm opening a document.
You can put it in a file. I mean,
Well, it is a file. It's in a folder. Huh? Okay, so one thing I can do is I can take away your editing rights.
on a link, email link.
No, on the document. I can unshare it with you.
I thought you said last week, excuse me, that send something by email link. That's always going to be live.
The link is going to be live, but when it gets to the sharing permissions, it's whatever the sharing permissions are at that point in
That's
time.
my question.
Okay, so okay, so I'm going to go to this call script. Let's pretend this is the contract. Okay, so one thing I can do is I can unshare it. Okay, but I'm going to send you a copy back in that email because my email is still open. I sent you an email. You receive it. So what I do is I go into File. I go to Download As. Now what am I going to download it as?
As a document.
Nope.
PDF.
That's a PDF.
Oh, JC. Okay.
So what happens if you get a PDF?
You got to open it in Adobe.
That's not a problem. You can't change it.
Okay.
It's not a document. You can't just go in and change it.
It's not part of the file.
Yeah, so I say, Matt, okay, great, this is perfect, easy, super. You got what you want? You say, yeah, because until you say, yeah, we keep going through it. You say, got what you want? So I'm going to send you a PDF in 32 seconds. I click Save as PDF. Click. It's going to download it to wherever I want it to go. It's over here. And so I might have it download to my desktop. In my email, I go into my email, I will now attach that PDF and say, I'm sending it to you in 32 seconds. If you have any questions, what?
Call me.
Call me. Send me an email back. You don't even need to call me. Just reply to the email saying change this to that, which is what I want you to do. Because if you send me a reply saying it's all cool, what do you now not have the ability to do later?
Say that you didn't get it.
Say you didn't get it or it wasn't what you agreed to. Okay?
Did you make a copy that you sent? When you changed to a PDF, what did you change to a PDF? The document itself or a copy?
It makes a copy as a PDF.
So it doesn't actually change what's in the drive. It's still a document.
It doesn't change what's in my drive. I've taken away your sharing privileges, though, so you can't go back in and change the document. How long does this all take me the second time or third time I've done it?
Well, it's instant. It's memory.
Yeah, it takes me no time at all. Okay, so we've gone over our time allotted for class. I apologize for that. And so, let's see, Dennis, do you have any questions in California?
We'll have a new student to introduce you to tomorrow. Well, I'm just going over most of the other students have kind of gone through it, so I was kind of working with her on the new apps, but no questions right now.
Okay, good. Let me hold John back up on this. Hi, John.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, so John is going to have a very dubious position of being the instructor at Casa Grande next week.
Okay.
Any of the famous guys? Semper Fi. Hoorah. Yeah. Anything you want to say, John?
I really enjoyed the class today.
Okay, good. Welcome to your future.
My destiny.
I'm looking forward to working with you.
Okay, thank you everyone for being here. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Thank you.